Welcome to Stop the Badges Weekly Nightly News. I'm Porter Vaughn. Good morning. Welcome to Stop the Badges Weekly Nightly News. Today is Monday, June 30th, 2014. Today I want to talk about the TSA again, but the current border situation where, for anybody who doesn't know, over the past couple of weeks, not only have we seen a large influx of illegal immigrants from south the border, Central, South, and Central and South America, and then Mexico as well, but it's actually been promoted. We've sent our Vice President Joe Biden down there. There were locally broadcast commercials. Telling everybody, go to America, you'll get a better life. Our Border Patrol agents were told to stand down, that the relief was coming, go home, which is totally against protocol. You never abandon your post until your relief is already there. You conducted a turnover, a shift change, and depending on the circumstances or the role, changed over the weapon. But they were told, stand down, go home, your relief's coming. Nobody ever showed up. The border gate was actually left wide open, unguarded. There's video footage of that. And then when we as American citizens, but not just American citizens, American journalists who would try to go down there and get further information about this, they would be led into false press conferences and then harassed by DHS or Border Patrol. They would be told that they were in an international border enforcement area and they weren't allowed to be there, due to safety reasons. But after the past 3 weeks now, they were finally able to not only uncover that we're paying through DHS to have illegals shipped further into the country to meet up with wherever they claim they want to go because they have friends or family there, and they don't have to, they could just say, New York, I know somebody in New York, and we will send them all the way to New York, free of cost to them, just put it on the American taxpayers. It's now part of the DHS budget. So, we're flying them in, we're busing them in. Once they get here deeper into the country, they're riding trains up straight through Mexico. The border's completely unguarded. They could just drive, speed, run across.
But agents are also being pressured to stand down from enforcing immigration laws as the federal government also begins to enact a media blackout on America's vanishing borders.
We're here at the international border in Brownsville, Texas, and as you can see, there's hardly any border patrol whatsoever, even at the border.
You would think with the current flood of tens of thousands of immigrants from Central America overwhelming our borders, Brownsville would be crawling with border patrol vehicles. But, on the extreme contrary, we saw, no exaggeration, well over 10 times as many border patrol vehicles parked at various facilities we saw driving the streets in and around Brownsville. In fact, we stood for well over an hour outside the border checkpoint in the city and only saw maybe one border patrol vehicle every 10 to 15 minutes drive by. Just look at this wide open border fence. It's at night and nobody's guarding it. It's wide open. This just highlights the illusion of border security by the Obama administration.
And when we do round them up, it's just to give them green cards, fresh start initiative, and ship them further in, or just set them up on welfare. Obamacare, welfare, food stamps, whatever. Give it all to them. They don't need to pay for any of it. They're obviously medically diseased from, obesity or whatever the case may be. And it's not all of them. That's not a mass generalization. But I'm saying, just like America. 30 years ago, people ate terribly. Rare steaks, high cholesterol, high, hard-boiled eggs every day, or just bacon, a pound of bacon with breakfast. I mean, people ate terribly 30, 40 years ago, and they weren't as fat. Like, fat people back then weren't nearly as fat people today. And why? I mean, the chemicals, the fat-free, the reduced fat, all the bullshit chemicals and procedures and production with the processing. All the processing of our food, all the bullshit chemicals, all the additives, all the unnatural shit that we do to our food now, claiming it makes it healthier, it's a better alternative, or because it's not real butter and it doesn't have cholesterol, it's good for you. What it is it's hydrogenated canola oil, and pig fat, bologna, mayonnaise, just terrible shit for you. But now it's not even real meat, the deli slice meats that you find in the packaging, it's not real meat. It's all processed. It has a caramelized layer to make it look like it was really cut off and, fresh off the ham hock. But it's not. It's just grinded down, mushed together, painted, and sawed into slices. And it's absolutely terrible for you, and it's absolutely disgusting for you. But it makes the obesity. Anyways, back to the main point. Today, people are fat by design. And Mexico has a lot of fat people. But because of poverty, yes, they have more diseases. It's just like with us and Obamacare. Well, once most of us can't afford Obamacare because either we make too much money to qualify for the discounts and be on access or whatever, which is what I'm hearing from a lot of friends. That, hey, what do? I just got kicked off access because I make too much money. I was told to go get Obamacare, and then Obamacare, I don't qualify for anything because I make more, but not enough to be able to afford it independently. So they told me I should try and get access. They tell you, go both ways, go over there, get it fixed, no, they're wrong, go back, tell them, no matter what they say, go try again. And then they'll send you back the other way. That's the way it's supposed to work. I mean, that's, Obamacare has been looking like it was going to fail and screw everybody over for years, and now it finally is. So, yeah, once it takes effect and we can't afford our own health care and the cost goes up too much and we're all just living in slums, we'll have as much disease as, another third world country. But for right now, we have more disease and obesity coming into this country from south of our border. And that's bringing with it more people that they're going to put straight onto the welfare, straight onto food stamps, straight onto WIC, cash assistance, access. All those beautiful socialistic programs that they have all the people that need it. Government shouldn't do anything. It shouldn't put a roof over your head. It shouldn't put food in your belly. It's not government's job to do that. It's government's job to pretty much ensure your safety in your liberties and give you the ability to pursue, food, property, money, happiness, wealth. You have the right to pursue all that stuff. You don't have the right to it. If you don't make enough money, you don't have the right to food. Especially when in a system where it's almost promoting an increased rate of reproduction, because the more kids you have, the more benefits you qualify for, which is a system in which we live in now. And as we all know, there are welfare divas out there. But, this is about, kind of a long-term plan. Borders have been opened up. now they're just going to spiral down our economy, crash all of our socialistic programs, and put the burden in the meantime on the American citizens.
Border collapses. Video of the border gates open, wide open. People driving in aren't even checking them. The internal checkpoint's wide open now. We have other footage of this. Border gates left wide open by Border Patrol. Again, that's all up on Infowars.com. Breaking as national news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at what else has been happening in the last week. Illegal immigrants hopping death trains again to U.S. hoping for amnesty. Well, they get amnesty. Incredible pictures of that. DHS questions over decision to let Saudi passengers skip normal passport controls. Fox News, they don't even have to go through passport controls to get into the country. They don't have to get into them when they come through Mexico. This is the reality of what's going on. Infectious tuberculosis moving across U.S. border. ICE whistleblower confirms. Boom. Airport security worried about reporters, not Muslim Brotherhood. Our report on that. Muslim terrorists caught crossing U.S. border. Boom. Obama, judge rules border fence racist. Orders it removed. Border highway heavily patrolled by state and local police, but not Border Patrol. They're literally standing down. Crime waves hitting South Texas and robberies. National Review reporting on that. Democratic lawmakers propose lawyers for immigrant children. Reuters, doctors warn of looming health crisis. Breitbart, on and on and on. Now,
but what about TSA? I mean, they were established by the Department of Homeland Security for the reason of protecting us, securing our borders, keeping people from getting in, keeping the threat out, keeping terrorists at bay, keeping all this, that's blowing up right now under control, keeping it from blowing up. And they've expanded to school events. I mean, last year it was the Super Bowl, it was big media events like the Olympics or big concerts, it was subway stations, it was highway wait stops for the trucks where they pull off and get weighed intermittently. But now it's gone to the point where they're at checkpoints, like Border Patrol checkpoints, DUI checkpoints, school events. They got Viper teams in cities, train stops, bus stops, subway stops, pretty much wherever they can go. And of course they still got the airports under control, and they'll pat everybody's ball sack down when they go through. But our border is left open. I mean, if Al-Qaeda wants to come in this country, they don't have to do it through an airport or a bus terminal or a subway station. To me, that'd be stupid anyways. If I was going to sneak into this country, I would do it through I would walk across the border fence that's completely unguarded. I'd go through the gate. I'd just drive in with, the big tank of explosives. I mean, nobody's stopping any of the cars. They've actually been ordered to not stop a car that's speeding at you because it might be dangerous. Might cause conflict. So they didn't want that. Of course, we wouldn't want to try to get in a shootout with a terrorist or a cartel member as they're coming across the border, not the law enforcement agent. That would be too dangerous. Instead, we should let him make it over the border safely into America, where the Border Patrol agent's safe, the cartel guy is here, and that's really just, I don't think they think anything bad can happen after that point. That's really just how it should turn out. But, so why do we have TSA right now? All this going on, TSA is not doing their job. Department of Homeland Security is not doing its job. I mean, obviously it's a ruse, and they're raising the prices. TSA is raising the prices. Depending now, they're going to charge you by the leg for your layovers, up to $5.60 a leg on a flight. So, for instance, if you're flying from California to New York and you have a layover in Georgia and a layover in Norfolk, then you might be paying $16.80 for your flight. Just in TSA taxes and surcharges and fees. They're going to have to cup your balls. And if you want to smoke on a layover, they got to cup your balls again. And if you want to smoke on the second layover, You know, shame on you trying to smoke 3 times in that day. What the fuck? Come on, man. Like, let's go. But, you know, they're gonna have to cup your balls again. Anyways, that's my point. I mean, look into it. Get upset about it. You're paying not just for the TSA through taxes and fees on your plane tickets, but taxes, you know, that are the cost of the TSA, the cost of the Department of Homeland Security. It's directly placed just in the national debt, which is paid off by you. You pay for all of these services, and none of them are working for you. You know, the TSA has never caught a single terrorist. They don't make the flights safer. All they do is they slow down the process, they add another level of bureaucracy, and they add more hoops to jump through. You now have to separate into Ziploc baggies your liquids, take certain things out, you can't carry an extra bag, take your laptop battery out. And why? Because they think there might be an explosive in there. Every time a terrorist has bought explosives into, you know, the airport, even after the establishment of the Department of Homeland Security, like the underwear bomber, TSA didn't get him. The civilians did. The people who were trying to protect themselves did. Not the corrupt TSA agents who have a level of security and authority that they claim is there. So they separate you from your luggage, pilfer through it, and take what they like. Which happens. I mean, I think it was 28% rise in misconduct charges in the TSA in the last 3 years. And I mean, that's not just saying that some cops or some agents or some people are always going to be corrupt, but that's saying why add a corrupt level of bureaucracy to oversee your travel and safety, especially when they're not improving your safety. They're just hassling you, the customer, the citizen, about the travel, and they do nothing but take a fat paycheck and kickbacks. Big benefits, TSA pre-check, a way to buy your way through. You know, I mean, it's all ridiculous bullshit. So, let's speak up and get the TSA shut down. I mean, this is something we need to call for as a nation. This is our moment to call for it as well. Borders are open and unguarded. That is their main purpose, is to protect our national security. And they aren't doing that. So, close them down. Put them out of business. Save the several, probably tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars that we allocate towards them a year, and we'll go ahead and spend it on something else.